Welcome back to Poorly Educated Today in the News. Folks, we got ourselves a week so wild, it made my Uncle Buck's 4th of July propane tank rocket launch look like a church bake sale. Everything in America is changing at once. The weather's exploding. The economy's vibrating like a washing machine with a cinder block in it. And the government's reorganizing the civil service like somebody flipping couch cushions looking for loose change. So let's get into it before the next crisis sneaks up behind me like a raccoon that smells Fritos. Segment 1. The government turns the bureaucracy into at will. Good luck. Well, buddy, the federal government rolled out this brand new schedule policy/career thing, which is basically HR speak for you're fired, maybe, probably, depends how the wind blows. They're taking these long-tenured civil servants and making them at will. At will. I haven't been at will since my ex-wife took the truck and the dog and left me with a crock pot full of regret stew. OPM says it's all about accountability, which is bureaucrat talk for we're cleaning house with a leaf blower. Meanwhile, unions are screaming this is the return of the spoils system. Spoils system? Buddy, the only spoils system I know is the time I left chili in the back seat for a week in July. That was spoiled. But these scientists, economists, regulatory folks, they're looking around like, wait, I went to school for 12 years just to get fired by a guy who thinks Excel is witchcraft? I mean, my cousin Ricky got fired from a paper mill for trying to dry his socks in industrial equipment. But even he got a hearing. And the OPM director's out here talking about the Pendleton Act, like we're all reenacting the Civil War in the backyard again. I'm sorry, sir, but if your job explanation requires a history lesson, nobody's going to trust you. Segment 2. Stonewall flag comes down and New York goes, oh, absolutely not. Over at the Stonewall National Monument, the Pride flag got taken down because of a new rule that says only government-approved flags can fly. And buddy, New York reacted like someone unplugged their air fryer mid-meal. City council members are writing angry letters, activists are furious, and the whole situation feels like somebody kicked over a very colorful hornet's nest. The government memo basically said, only official flags on federal poles, which sounds reasonable until you realize they also scrapped references to LGBTQ+ history on the monument's website. It's like they're saying, we support history, just not that part, or this part, or those parts. New York officials are swearing that flag is going back up, and if you've ever met a New Yorker, you know they ain't bluffing. These are folks who will fight a pigeon for a pretzel. And the timing? Right before the 250th anniversary of the country? Buddy, the symbolism is so thick you could butter toast with it. Segment 3. The economy breaks records. While the job numbers say, surprise, you were wrong. All right now, the Dow Jones hit 50,000. 50,000. My bank accounts only ever hit 50,000 when I typed the wrong decimal. Wall Street's shinier than a chrome bumper at a truck show, and everybody's celebrating like tariffs are magic beans that sprout money trees. But here's the punchline. The new jobs report comes out and says, oh, by the way, last year's numbers were wrong by almost 900,000 jobs. 900,000. That ain't a rounding error. That's a somebody dropped the spreadsheet down a storm drain moment. January actually looked good. 130,000 new jobs. Unemployment dipped. Healthcare's booming. But then the revisions show the whole previous year was like my cousin Clyde's fishing stories. Heavily embellished. Meanwhile, Oracle's raising $50 billion for AI billion with a B. That's buy your own country and staff it with robots' money. and tech stocks are wobbling like a turtle on a frozen pond, because investors can't tell if AI is the future or just really expensive wishful thinking. And Disney parks are making record money, which tells you everything. America may be falling apart, but by God, we will stand in line 3 hours to ride a roller coaster. Segment 4. World security. New start dies, Russia chats again, and Iran heats up. Now internationally, it's a buffet of, oh no, the New START treaty officially expired. That's the last big nuclear limit treaty we had, which means the US and Russia are now basically two teenagers home alone with fireworks and no adult supervision. But then, same day, they restart military-to-military talks. That is a level of mixed messaging I haven't seen since my ex told me she hated me while asking to borrow my lawnmower. Iran's getting spicy, too. US just moved F-35s into the UK, the Abraham Lincoln carrier groups in the region, and the president said he's thinking about sending another carrier. When a president says he's thinking about it, it's never good. That's how my Uncle Dave ended up owning a canoe he can't swim to. Meanwhile, NATO kicks off Arctic Sentry, which is not a winter-themed superhero, but a mission to defend the Arctic while we're also annoying Denmark by talking about buying Greenland again. At this rate, the US is going to get banned from real estate websites. Segment 5. Minnesota standoff, de-escalation, and a whole lot of finger-pointing. Minnesota's immigration crisis finally calmed down, sort of. The governor says the crackdown might end in days, not weeks, which sounds like what I said about fixing my leaky roof 2 years ago. ICE withdrew 700 agents, but left 2,300, which the governor describes as an occupation. I've seen occupations smaller than that, mainly in my pantry during ant season. The feds say everything's going great, thanks to unprecedented collaboration. Minnesota says everything's going terrible because 2 people are dead and everybody's furious. Sounds like Thanksgiving at my aunt's house. ICE even released a Super Bowl-themed press statement defending themselves. Buddy, when immigration enforcement is using the Super Bowl halftime show as a battlefield, that's when you know America has officially turned into one long Facebook comment section. Segment 6. Weather Apocalypse Deluxe. Mother Nature's been in a mood again. A bomb cyclone tore up the East Coast. Arctic air froze everything solid, and over 90 people died. New York City lost at least 17 people to the cold. Terrible tragedy. Oklahoma had 2 kids fall through ice. Lake Erie cracked open with an 80-mile ice fracture like someone dropped a cosmic bowling ball on it. Even Puerto Rico got hit, with high surf smashing a barge full of fuel onto shore. And now meteorologists say Valentine's Day is going to bring flooding across the South. Nothing says romance like, honey, the creek's in the living room again. In conclusion, America's doing that thing again where everything happens at once. The government's reorganizing itself like a garage sale gone wrong. The economy's booming while also quietly whispering, oops. The world's playing nuclear Jenga. Minnesota's still arguing with Washington. And the weather is trying to kill us with every element on the periodic table. But don't worry, your poorly educated host will be right here, explaining it all with the accuracy of a raccoon guessing lottery numbers and the confidence of a man who once welded a lawn chair to a go-kart frame. Stay warm, stay safe, and if the Dow hits 60,000 by next week, I'm selling moonshine NFTs. Tune in next time for more news, nonsense, and necessary redneck wisdom.